What up, y'all? It been a minute since you seen me on here. First and foremost, it's important that y'all understand, I don't try to save humanity. I do what's pleasing to the gods. I share the truth, I get the truth. That's my duty and obligation to serve the gods. My goal behind having the brother Lord Ganesh behind me is my hope to dispel the ignorance in your mind and hope you see clear. You're on borrowed time. You're on borrowed time. We're looking at the United States chart right now. And as you see, this is where the last solar eclipse was. Go back and watch the last video I gave you on the solar eclipse. The moon, which is the ruler of the United States 8th house of death, debt, and transformation, is crossing over the eclipse point. Yesterday was the United States Pluto return. And Pluto is in the second house of values, money, And in the sign of Capricorn, that says the United States values their ability to control other people. And for everybody to follow their rules. But Pluto's energy doesn't work that way. If you aren't following the rules that you're setting, Pluto's gonna come back and bust that ass. And that's what Pluto has returned to do to the United States. Everybody's buzzed all up about Ukraine and Russia. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. Now, as Mars comes into opposition with Mercury, which rules the United States 7th house of war and allies, you're going to see the United, and this is going to be around, March 1st, February 27th, 28th, March 1st. You're going to see the United States get into this hot war. And as Mars comes into conjunction with Pluto, and is conjunct Pluto at the Pluto return point, Mars rules the 4th house of the United States. Trouble is going to be here. War is going to be here. I know you guys think you're untouchable. I know you believe the United States can't be touched. But there's been an army festering within the United States. Festering within the nation. Because the 4th house rules the people who are no longer in power. Now that can be the black people, or it can be the Republican Party. And the alt-right, the white supremacists. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Venus, the planet that rules the 6th house, which governs the police and military, is also going to hit this Pluto return report and be conjunct Pluto and Mars in the United States 2nd house. Not only will there be war, there will be economic crisis. Because the 5th house is also ruled by Venus, and so is the 10th house of the presidency. Yes. The wrath of Sekhmet is here. And even if it means my own annihilation, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Because I served my purpose. I served my purpose, man. And if you look at Vladimir Putin's chart, Vladimir Putin has Pluto in Leo, conjunct his midheaven. He's going to be an instrument of Sekhmet's wrath upon you. He sure is. Divine justice is here. Take it how you want to take it. Take it how you want to take it. It's not going to change anything, though. That's the reality of this situation. That is the reality. As you can see from the, stocks and the crypto crash, and I told you when in the video, transit video, Mercury making this square to Uranus. Mercury is in Aquarius in the 2nd house of money in the United States chart. Uranus is in the 5th house of investments. and how we market ourselves. So the way that, the United States has been flapping off through the media and through these political parties, it has left a sour taste in the world's mouth about us. I assure you that. I assure you that. You know? Neptune is moving into an opposition with natal Neptune, and Neptune is in the third house. You're gonna see this destruction. Destruction. A lot of people in the music industry, a lot of people in the entertainment, film industry, news media, a lot of your illusions are about to be destroyed. When illusions are destroyed, reality sets in. And I assure you, the reality you're about to experience isn't going to be pleasant. It's not going to be pleasant at all. Your little programming and brainwashing, mind control things through the media and music and stuff, it's about to all fall down. Now, as I was saying on the Brother Lloyd Strayhorn show, Pluto goes retrograde this summer. Not this summer, but this spring. Neptune goes retrograde. Pluto is going to be making a station conjunct the United States natal Pluto. So it's going to go retrograde over this and give you a second chance. But when it goes back direct in October, if they haven't stopped with their hegemonic trying to control the world shit, this motherfucking nation is going to get rocked to his knees. It's going to get rocked to his knees and fall flat on his face. This I promise you. The same thing with Neptune. Neptune is making a station in the third house. A lot of people with psychic abilities in this country and spiritual power, they're going to start waking up. You're going to start waking up. A lot of illusions are about to be destroyed. I promise you that. I promise you that. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. A lot of illusions are going to be destroyed. A lot. A lot, man. The United States is ruled by Jupiter because Jupiter rules the first house, Sagittarius on the first house. Jupiter is making a trine to the sun, which rules the ninth house of foreign lands and overseas and college and stuff like that. Also published it in media. Pisces is the sign of illusion. So the United States they're gonna trick their allies. They're gonna trick the people. They're gonna play some manipulation and it's gonna go in their favor easily. But the consequences of it are what's gonna hurt. The consequences of it are what's going to hurt. But this won't be the first or the last time humanity gets destroyed. And that's not fear, doom, and gloom. That's reality. The way we live is about to change dramatically. Dramatically. And that's all I really got to say right now. I'm going to go over here and pull up Putin's chart and we'll look at that. To really look at the natal chart. And this is Vladimir Putin's natal chart. As I told you, Pluto is conjunct his midheaven and it's on the 10th house sign. This is the testament that he's a warrior and a king. He's not leaving out of control in Russia. Believe me when I tell you that. Ain't nobody ever gonna control Russia but Putin. ever. Until that man drops dead, ain't nobody gonna control Russia. Now, this is what I'm gonna tell you. Pluto in Leo rules his first house sign, which is Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign that rules Scorpio and Pluto rule nuclear energy, and they rule spies. His first house is second house. They rule occultism and magic too. Rule occultism and magic too. And he get down with it. I promise you he get down with it. Neptune is in his 12th house, a psychic activity. His sextile is Pluto. And then his moon is in the 8th house of mediumship and magic. The moon makes Neptune and Pluto aspect, and then his part of fortune in the 8th house. He gains his fortune through his intuition, allowing information from above to come into his mind. Gemini, the sign of the mind. That's trying his Pluto in the 10th and trying his Neptune in the 12th, his part of fortune. Pluto in Leo, ruling his first house, he's the king of spies. King of spies, man. If he moved on to Ukraine, it's because he already had it under his control. He already had it under his control. He already knows where the pieces are going to go and how they are going to fall because he already orchestrated it. What I do see interesting, Sagittarius, the sign of philosophy and things like this, are intercepted in his second house, so people don't understand the real depths of this man. And that makes you to underestimate him and debase him as a brute. But he's very philosophical. Very philosophical, especially when it comes to war, because Mars is also intercepted in his second house. Intercepted in his second house, making a trine to Mercury, making not a trine, but a sextile to Mercury and Neptune. This guy ain't no slouch, man. He ain't no slouch. And he don't care. As good as his foresight and stuff is, he don't care about setting it off. And you can see that because Uranus is in his 9th house. This is in his 9th house, and it's making a square to Saturn, saying he's willing to disrupt foreign boundaries, break the mold when it comes to, set standards and things like this. Saturn is the ruler of his 3rd house. Not only does he do it mentally, he does it, through communication, and he does it in regards to his neighboring nations. Nobody thought a European nation would be this tight with China, with the Chinese. Just like the German, general who got fired, got on there and said, "Why are you partnering with the Chinese? You're Christian like us. In other words, you're white like us." Is nothing conventional about how he busts moves. Uranus rules his fourth house. In the 4th house, it rules the total ending of things, So with the ruler of his 4th house, he probably, when he meets his end, it'll probably be in some bizarre ass way that nobody ever expected. Now, what I do want to do is look at the transits in his chart to tell you what's going on with his mentality and things right now. As you see, this eclipse point I was talking about is in his 2nd house of values, in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, people don't understand, Sagittarius is the only armed sign in the zodiac. It's a sign of war, too. Long distance war. war of the mind, war of morality and things like that. He has a good moral code and a strict moral code. And the moon passed over that eclipse point, and he said, you know what? Nobody else are following the treaties, so why should I? And it's going to go in his favor, in favor of his ego too, because this eclipse point was sextile his natal sun. Sextile his natal sun in the 11th house. So he has support of the nations that he associates with. He has their support. What I will say, Gemini is also intercepted over here in this 8th house. This is a dangerous time for Putin. This is a dangerous time, and he risks being assassinated. As you see, Mars is about to hit that Mercury, which rules that intercepted 8th house. Mars is about to square that. Venus is about to square that. Venus rules his 7th and his 8th house. Saturn, in the next 2 weeks, Saturn, is going to oppose Pluto in his 10th house. Saturn puts limitations and separates you from your power. So just like he has plays in motion, orchestrating things, the universe has plays in motion, orchestrating things. He has a powerful chart. But at the same time, Pluto and Leo going to be a slave to the gods. The only power you get is the power they give you. It's what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to this spiritual shit and magical power. They're only giving you enough to do what they want you to do. But your ego, and his is huge. Leo on the midheaven. Pluto in Leo in the 10th house. His ego and desire for power is tremendous. So is his power. But the power that we are allotted, everybody who practices magic, you can only fit so much in your vessel. And you are going to use that power how they want you to use it. When you get to spiritual power, you just become a vessel for manifesting the will of the gods, no matter how much your ego thinks you're doing shit your way, or that you're running shit, or you're bossed up. Same thing with Aleister Crowley and these white people with the golden dome. These racist ass people using Egyptian gods for magic. All our gods did was use them as vehicles to put them back into the subconscious of the people, to put them back in the forefront. Puppets. That's what we all are. When you come to the spiritual thing, you're puppets. Become the people, empower their puppets. A vehicle for divine forces whose vibrations can't really manifest in the human body because they're so different. You become a vehicle. And there's people that raise their vibrations high enough to become, demigods and things like that. But it's not Putin or nobody. They're just vehicles. Things are about to change, man. Things are about to change in ways you could never imagine.